Hello listeners and fellow Game Pass fans, get yourself set and ready for your favourite unofficial Game Pass podcast, Game Pass News. So I'll hand you over to Nick and Sean and get the show started.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Game Pass News, recorded live Thursday, April 6th. I had a moment there. 2023. I'm Nintendo, one half of the awesome GPN crew, Mr. Sean Abbott, the man with the GPN car from across the pond. He's the other half. This week, we talk about Xbox making official Game Pass News controllers just for us, a dashboard update, and E3 has left E3. Forever? Maybe. Also, we're giving away 3 months of Game Pass today, so you better buckle up, and you should sit down first, and then you should buckle up, because Game Pass News is one crazy ride.
I absolutely love this. We have been...
Do you know where that music comes from? Do you know where that music comes from?
That's from us. That's our intro.
Oh, okay. You're right. Yep. A lazy week, folks. I didn't have a time to cut the thing and do the stuff. So you're right. You win.
Yep.
Anyways, what were you saying?
What I was saying was that we'd learned something new about each other most weeks, and now it's that I am never ever going to get on a roller coaster that you are the safety guy for. Yeah, just buckle up and then sit down. You'll be fine.
Right. You'll be sitting on your buckle. Don't worry about it. No problem.
That's what she said.
Oh, Bruce just put something in the chat, and it's, I think, French, and I can't pronounce it or say it. It's French. Do you know what that means? Wow, Sean and Nick are two sexy men. I believe that's what that means. I don't know. I could be wrong, though. I could be wrong. It's up in the air. Sean, how you doing, man? How's your week been?
Apart from in between all the laughing, I'm nearly drowning on a small mouthful of water. I'm absolutely fine. This week's been busy. Very busy. Kids are off, so it's been manic. We went to a really cool place called Loverton Hall on Monday. Bit like an outdoor play area, nature park, where there's a bit of like farm animals and stuff like that we can look at, and a few other bits and pieces, some exotic animals, some penguins, which we thoroughly enjoyed. The Humboldt penguins, which was nice.
Nice.
And then Tuesday, Mrs. Abbott had to do some work. She had some marking to do for all her students, so I took Logan down to our local skate park, like got an outdoor concrete skate park. Mm-hmm. He took his Mario Kart controller, like remote control car, and was launching that around.
That's so cool.
I took I have a skateboard. I used to do some skating as I was younger. Still have one kicking around, so I took that with me, and then realized that at 36 years old, my legs do not do 3 hours of rolling around on a skateboard chasing a 5-year-old. So yeah, needless that was tiring. Wednesday was Mario Day, and we went and watched the Mario film. It's finally released. We went and did that. And then today we've been to we traveled all the way to Manchester, which is a good hour and a half, 2 hours away from us. There it is. He's showing off his cup. Logan has that exact cup, just smaller. Nice. Yep, I agree with that. Sorry, interrupted by Acid TKO3 saying, "Good evening, Game Pass gents. Can we all say that Resident Evil 4 is once again a gem?" And it is. I am battling my way through that game and think I'm near the end, but I'm not quite sure because I fought that twice already. And then today we went to Manchester, good hour and a half, 2 hour drive away. We went to a place called the Trafford Centre, and inside the Trafford Centre they've got a Lego Discovery Centre, which is a really cool place with loads of big Lego models and stuff you can go and admire, plus lots of little activities for the kids where they can like build little Lego cars and race them. There was a stunt jump. They had to build one that was able to do a stunt jump. They then had to build a vehicle that was able to transport a Duplo animal from one point to another, which was quite cool. A couple of little rides and a little VR experience, which was fun. And then obviously a gift shop at the end where Logan purchased 2 pieces of Minecraft Lego, which was cool.
Cool.
And then we went to Sea Life Centre, which is also in the same place. This place was huge. We've been today. I've never been to a shopping centre as big as this. And then there was a Sea Life Centre in there as well. So we went and had a walk around, look at some turtles and sharks and stingrays and stuff like that, which is cool. So that's pretty much been our week. It's been manic. Doing that in between, trying to play some games and still get to the gym has left me very, very tired. So
I'll get that.
How about yourself?
Yeah, well, spring break over here, so kids are off as well. So we've also done the movie thing, which, if you're wondering, we already recorded our thoughts on a little like 15-minute deal. So we're gonna drop that on our Game Pass news. Kind of, we didn't want to put a spoiler tag on this guy or anything. So, but we knew we couldn't get away without talking about it. So we recorded that. It'll be a separate episode, and Sean will get it out as soon as he's got it all taken care of. So, so there's that. And then we went to a tea room, Sean, because my family does love tea. We do little tea parties in-house most of the time, but my wife found this about an hour away, this elegant tea room, and so we booked ourselves a little room, went there, had really good food. It was fantastic food, little bites of stuff, and got all the tea that we wanted, and it was fun. The kids got to dress up, so that was yeah, we all went in fancy attire, and so although I'm pretty sure I looked more like an Amishman than anything else when I was all done with my fancy attire, because my wife was like, wear a hat. The only hat I had was the straw hat. So yeah, pretty sure it was all said and done. I was just like a Amish guy at a tea table. So there you go. But no, it was fun. It was good, and we had a good time. And that yeah. Oh, and update on the drone business. We actually have made money. Yeah, we've actually made money now. We had our first job. Which actually is going to roll into about 3 more jobs. So yeah, that's been a fun experience moving forward with that. So that's
excellent. That's cool. It's when one thing rolls into another like that. That's always good. It's a good way to start things. So
yeah, exactly. So awesome. Yeah, I was very nervous. We submitted, like, it was a real estate video we did for a commercial building that they were selling. So we took a bunch of shots of it. I cut it up and made it into a little like trailer of the thing, and I was like, I have no idea. I think this is good, but they might be like, this is trash. So I was but they loved it, and they were like, yeah, we got other jobs. We'll hit you up here in a week or so to do some other stuff. So yeah.
Nice. Without sounding like this is a pun, your help is going to elevate their business. So
actually, Elevated Perspectives was almost our name, to be honest. We really liked the idea, but it was long and was hard to fit on a logo, so we got out of that. So yeah, that's what's going on here. But we got to give away money. We got to give away cash. We
do.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, there has been some big scores. So I will run. We had 13 people take part this month. Jeez, it's long by. A couple of new people, like we mentioned before. We've got V, Slaven, Dementia, who's new, Neosynthesis, who's new. So those guys are in there. We've got 4 people that have capped out at the full 15,000 gamer score. So well done. You guys far surpassed that. It was crazy. It is the Slaven that has got the bragging rights to the person who has earned the most gamer score, which was interesting. But yeah, you guys absolutely killed it. So
okay, somebody in chat. We have 4 people in chat. If there's anybody in chat who can give me a number from like 1 to 5, that'll be the number. That'll be the amount of times I hit the generate button. Can anybody give me a number? And that'll be. Normally I have Sean pick this, but I thought, well, we got 4 people in chat, so maybe somebody in chat will pick it. Anybody? Otherwise, I'm just gonna have Sean do it.
I would just say use 4. We have 4 people in chat. So
4 people in chat 4 times. All right. That's what we'll do. Oh wait, Acid TK gave us 3. Okay, so there we go. We're gonna do 3. 3 times, I hit the button. I don't know who is slated with what numbers. Sean doesn't have control of the generator, and I'm hitting it 3 times, which wasn't done by either of us. So that's about as random as a random can get, okay? All right, here we go. 1. Oh, I I hit this button on OBS. Okay, I gotta hit the button on the other screen that actually controls the generator. Okay, let's try that again. 1, 2, 3. 1667.
1667 is Neosynthesis.
Synthesis or symphysis?
Synthesis.
Yep. Synthesis. All right.
He gets the banding of 1619 to 1685. So
there
he is our
go.
winner for this month.
1619 to 1685. So he was one of the. How many points did he have altogether? Like, where was he ranked in the whole thing?
He had 67 entries at 3,350.
So he was kind of lower on the list, really. Yeah.
Which is what we always like. I mean, which is always what we say. Like, if you is all randomly done, people get a number between such and such depending on how many entries they've got.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Anybody can win. Way to go, sir. We will. Sean will hit you up, or I'll hit you up. I don't know where you entered at, and we'll get you a code for 3 months of Game Pass Ultimate.
Yeah, I think he was added me on Xbox, so I will once we finish on here, I'll send a voice message and say like, hey, you've got to give us some details, and we will sort that out for you.
Nice, sounds good. Speaking of getting stuff sorted out for people, what's going on next week, Sean?
So next week we usually do every Thursday and Tuesday, but our schedules didn't quite line up for next week, but it has been a bit of a bonus for somebody because that means that Mr. Bruce, the Triforcing master himself, is joining us next Friday. So very excited for that. Can't wait to have Bruce on. He's always in there in the chat. He's always asking us questions, tagging us in stuff, showing us cool stuff that like we might even miss when it comes to the Xbox news. So yeah, looking forward to having you on, Bruce.
Yeah, I'm excited to hear about. I want some backstory on the Triforce journey. Like where did we come? Like, how was he like? I'm gonna start welding Triforces. Like, and then I also want more story on like his journey to Xbox, because it was a journey. Like, he was like, I'm in with you guys, and he's like, no, I'm out with you guys, and he's like, I'm back in. And then there was a journey of like getting it. So yeah, we got like, we're gonna have a good conversation. I am really excited to have him on. So. Can't wait for that.
And also a massive thank you to the 2 new subscribers, which is one being Bruce, and I'm assuming the other one is Mrs. Bruce. So thank you very much, guys. Both of you have subscribed with Prime, which is always nice. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. All right. Anything else before we go to top stories?
No, let's roll in.
Top stories it is. All right, top stories. Hey, Microsoft made a controller just for Game Pass news. Phil must have known. He was like, listen, those guys need a controller. And the one they made apparently wasn't good enough. They have an official Xbox controller that I swear, if you didn't know better, it would be made for us. It's, what colors do they call this thing? I didn't realize it was like made from reclaimed CDs and water jugs and other controller parts, too. That's like us, Sean. We're pretty much reclaimed, too. Man, this really is for us.
Yeah. All the stuff that the island didn't want just spat us back out.
That's right.
But yeah, I mean, we've got the green, we've got blue, we've got like the lime green. It's a very nice control. I like the pattern on the side as well, like a wood kind of walnutty looking pattern, which is nice. It's called the, if you want to look for this, it's out on the Xbox website now. It's called the Remix Special Edition controller.
Wow.
But yeah.
Why is this more expensive? This comes with a chargeable battery.
Yeah, it does, yeah. Which is only why it's fractionally more expensive. It's down here at $84.99, which isn't too bad. It's usually $79.99, isn't it?
Yeah. I can't remember how much more expensive, but yeah, I knew it didn't have an 8 in the beginning when I bought my last controller, so I knew it was a bit more expensive. So maybe it is like $79.99. But wow, that's news because that doesn't happen very often at all, does it? That it comes with a rechargeable battery?
No, the only controllers that come with rechargeable packs are no like non-battery at the back is the Elite series controllers.
Nice.
So
Well, that's post-consumer
I like it, but
recycling
then,
dimensions.
but if you're gonna sell a controller that's made from recycled plastics, you aren't gonna want to then have
Yeah.
people put batteries in it. Kind of defeats the objective. So yeah, this makes perfect sense.
Yeah, no,
Good
it
PR,
really does.
good PR, Xbox. Well done.
Hmm. Yeah, that's exciting, and it's really it's Game Pass colors. I have thought about selling my white one for this one, to be honest. Just selling that one and then taking whatever proceeds and buying that one. I don't know if it'll happen, but it crossed my mind.
Yeah, I mean, I've got a standard Series X controller I could sell.
Yeah,
So
yeah, that's what I
I
was
don't know how
thinking.
much they're going for.
Yeah, I
But
don't
yeah.
know. I have not looked into this, sir, but you said you saw it on your system. The dashboard has a new friends and community section.
Yep, that is true. It's there when you can add it to your home screen now. So if you go once you're on your home screen, if you go down to add more, um, just doing it now. You go down to add more, see all suggestions, or hit your two Windows key, which is the select key for all you old school gamers like me.
Oh, that,
You can then customize it and add it to your home screen. When you do that, it just pops up and gives you like at the moment I've got a rare achievement to aim for in High on Life, I believe. And then like games that I follow or games that I've played or the kids have played recently. Looking at this, Minecraft and Terraria, I've got some skins stuff I can go and download, and people have been sharing it and things like that. But then if you go into the actual app itself, um, I can see like the most recent captures and achievements that people have unlocked. So I'm looking at V Slaven's unlocked Brothers in Arms, which is Monkeys of the Shaolin. Got himself 20 gamer score there. Mr. Frosticles 43, Mr. Jason, all the way down in the south of England, has unlocked long game on Forza Horizon 5. So I can see kind of cool stuff like that.
nice. I'll have
And you
to
can
take a
like
look
if there's
at it.
if there's clubs that you've joined, you can see like your most like popular shares and stuff like that and captures from those clubs. So yeah, it's pretty cool. It's a nice way to kind of keep in touch rather than having to go into each individual profile. Like you normally have to kind of see stuff like if I want to see what achievements you've been popping, or if I can't remember if you're one of the people who've got automatic share and capture still switched on, but like I can see what games you've been playing recently and things like that. So.
Yeah, and if you're like me, so go and check it out. Because if you're like me, I'm not gonna lie, I oftentimes don't. I turn it on and I go straight to the thing that I know I want to do, and I don't look at much else. I need to get more community minded. I've had people DM me and be like, "Hey, I reached out to you and added you. You haven't added me back." It's not because I don't like you people. It's just because I really suck at that. So I really need to get better at that. I have this I'm so used to the Nintendo system, right? Like I skipped a whole generation of Xbox. And so yeah, I bought this social system. I need to get better at using it. So and they're trying to make it
Yeah.
easier for me. So I'm going to try my hardest to use it.
So I'm going to share this to my. I'm doing it now. I took a picture. I played a little bit of sessions this morning while I was waiting for everybody to get kind of ready to leave the house. And so like I took a photo in the game, and then you can save the photo and you can share it to somewhere, which is now not letting me do it anyway. There we go.
Works great.
So far, I put that there.
Cool. All right.
Yeah. So yeah, I've just shared that photo to my feed, so if and when people start to see it, they can see stuff like that, which is cool. So really good night. I keep forgetting that they have the whole capture and share thing on the Xbox console itself, which is always cool because it's like quite often that I'll do something quite funny in a game, or like I'll hit the home button and press X. I've kind of got that down to an absolute art,
Mm-hmm.
and then completely forget to show anybody it. And then like I'll go through my phone. And I'm like, wow, why did I take this capture? And then I'll be like, oh yeah, I wanted to show Nicholas.
I love how easy it is with Xbox to just hit the share. It goes to your phone and you can do it. You don't have to do like you have to do with Nintendo, where you got to like scan the code and then wait for the things to link up and scan the next code on the yeah. And I mean, they've made
Inevitably,
it
it
about
never
as
works. You have to go in
yeah.
automatically in the Wi-Fi and add the switch to it anyway. So.
Yeah, yeah. And they've made it. I mean, they've made it about as easy as they can, I think. But no, I love the fact that I take it and it's like, hey, it's on your phone, and then I just get to share it. Like my hilarious, the only issue I've had with Hogwarts, I shared I think last week, where I landed right in the middle of a bunch of bad guys and they just couldn't see me. So I got to use the I can't remember. It starts with a P, the Petra whatever spell that you can use when you sneak up on people. I just got to walk up and use it onto like 6 guys. And they were running all around me and they couldn't see me. Hilarious stuff like that. I love when you can get a good video, stuff like that. So check it out. New stuff on the dashboard for friends and community section. Next, E3 has left their own building. Have they left it forever? E3 is canceled again. Man, this is rough stuff. I don't know. You think it's ever coming back, Sean?
I'm not sure. I have the thing is that they say here that like it's let me get the quote completely right. It's something to do with the partners. The deal consumption, this was a difficult decision because of all the effort we and our partners put toward making this event happen. That we and our partners, they don't have like Sony are going to go and do their own thing. That's one partner down.
Mm-hmm.
Microsoft are going to go and do their own thing. That's another partner down. By this point, it's very possible that Activision and Blizzard won't be there as singularities because they'll be under the Microsoft umbrella, hopefully. So, that's another party down. So it's kind of like the hand's kind of been forced.
Yeah. It's just, man, it's.
But then also, do people want to go to these kind of events? We're still living in a pre-COVID existence where some people don't want to go to big events and stuff like that. Like I know today, like going into the shopping center we're in today, and Lindsay felt it as well. Like it's quite overwhelming to be in large. Still, for me, to be in large groups of people, it's still overwhelming. It's like, wow, we kind of went through 2 or 3 years of not being able to do this.
Mm-hmm.
So, there's lots of factors into it.
Yeah, I think there is. I mean, I don't know what it's like to not have, as long as I get the digital presentation still, I don't care. I think it would be cool if they all like went in the same space. That's not going to happen though. I mean, it's just not. They're going to space them out and they're going to try to get their own like time of PR-ness where no one is around them and they can yell and scream and they don't have to talk over anybody else. I think, okay, that's fine. So for me as a gamer, that's how I'm going to speak. I'm not a journalist, really. I'm a guy that does a podcast because I have an awesome friend and we like to chat about it. And we were like, what the hell? Let's record it too. I mean, that's pretty much where we're at. So as a gamer, it doesn't so much really affect me. I mean, do I love like the Christmas week of E3? Sure do. But if I, in the end, throughout the summer, get all the digital presentations, then I'm cool. Like, doesn't really affect me. I'm not flying out to California to go to E3. But I think from what I hear from journalists that are in the business, it may affect indies who are trying to get people and publishers to see their games and journalists to be able to find the next big thing. And so I think that could be an issue. But, I think there's probably ways in this connected world of digital Zoom and all that kind of fun stuff. I mean, we're talking across a gigantic ocean. So you know what? If you need to get the ear of somebody, there's a million other ways to do it. You're gonna have to knock on some doors and maybe do a little bit more footwork. But
yeah, and I mean, you want to look into things like indies and stuff like that. Look at Xbox with Idea Xbox. They literally focus on indies and indies only and bringing them to Sony did the same. They picked up Stray, which was an indie game, and kind of nurtured it and brought it to where it is now. And the Nintendo Switch, the Nintendo have a really good relationship with indie developers. I mean, there is a lot of indie games on the Switch that come out, and you've got to kind of sometimes wade your way through lots of different games because it seems quite easy to get one there than it is anywhere else. But there's plenty there, so yeah, it might dampen it ever so slightly. But like you say, in a digital world, we've all just spent 2 or 3 years stuck inside because of COVID. We've all had to do different ways of working things. I think most companies now have got stuff in place like Teams, Zoom, Skype, where they can constantly keep in contact. And meetings don't have to be face to face, and you don't have to do that kind of thing. In terms of how am I going to get my game as the game of Christmas? Basically, E3 was always the game of Christmas. It's going to come digitally. Xbox already going to do their own thing. It says here June 11th is for the Xbox Game Showcase. It's going to be huge. It's going to be massive. There's going to be plenty there to chew on. Nintendo are going to probably go and do their own thing like they did last year. Sony will probably do their own thing like they did last year, and then all your other major developers from like cascading down, Naughty Dog will probably do their own thing.
They're either going to jump on the bandwagon with one of the big three, if that fits what they want to talk about most, or they're all just going to try to sprinkle in over the June, July, maybe even August time frame and find their own slot where nobody's around them and they can talk about their stuff and they'll have the most eyes on their stuff. And that makes sense. And the no Christmas is the only thing that really that bums me out. The no like E3 Christmas or Gamers Christmas as you called it. But really, I'm still getting my stuff, and I was going to get it digitally anyways. Like I said, I mean, either way, it was either going to be filmed on a stage, and I was going to get it digitally that way, or it's just going to be pre-recorded on a stage. It doesn't matter to me. It's all the same. So, I think this affects other people way more than it affects me. So,
yeah, and it's a shame that like for that, but it's like basically Comic-Con but for gaming. It's a huge shame that it affects people in that sense where. Some people would wait all year for this. They would go and the journalists make their money by going there and doing live reporting, and podcasters and YouTube, influencers and stuff like that. Instagram influencers would be out there doing lives, and they'd be walking and talking around. That kind of thing can't happen now. But there is different ways of doing it. If it's going to be shown live on YouTube, you restream it, and you like we would do for the Xbox Game Showcase. You do it that way, and that the content creation side of it is still there and available. So,
100%. So next, Xbox executive talks about Game Pass news and is it disruptive? I can tell you, he says he doesn't think it is.
They talk about us.
Did I say Game Pass news? I like to say that. We are disruptive, no question about it. We are very disruptive to the industry. No, sorry. He talks about Game Pass, not Game Pass news. He talks about Game Pass and he was asked if it's disruptive, and he says, I wouldn't describe it as disruptive because I don't think it is in the way that like Uber came in and got rid of all the taxis in that industry. I see his point. It didn't wipe out buying games on a one-to-one basis. But I think it was pretty disruptive. I mean, and he's probably saying that because it's not the time now to be like when you're trying to wrap up a gigantic merger and or an acquisition. Now's not the time to be like, we got this awesome product and it's super disruptive and it's making great waves in the market and it's awesome. No, it's not the time. So of course he's gonna be like, no, this isn't disruptive at all. No, it totally is. Like. It's made everybody start to work towards a subscription system, or at least feel like they have to have an option for it if they want to play in that space. So
yeah, I mean, he went and then tried to use the free to play games coming to console as a kind of counter argument on this, saying that look, free to play games came out and people were like, oh no, not free to play. What's the point in this? Blah blah blah. And that kind of didn't take over. I mean, they are pretty big. Fortnite, Apex, Call of Duty, Warzone. You've got those. You got Rocket League, Among Us. I'm just looking at it because it's on the screen at the moment. But you've got those huge free to play style games that are there that lots of people go and play because they're free. But people love their IPs. People will pay to play the next Mario game. They'll play to, we're both going to pay to play the next Zelda game for the next
Amen.
5 years.
Already paid for it.
Mine's pre-ordered, but digitally. I am not going physical for Zelda because I never go physical for Zelda.
Fair enough. You mean you're not going digital for Zelda? Is that what you mean? Because you go physical?
No, I'm going digital because
you are?
It's
okay.
always there. Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
If Mario and Zelda games, I'll just always buy them digitally.
Nice.
But yeah, it is disruptive in a sense that I don't buy as many Xbox games as I used to. Like I walked past Game on the high street today in the shopping center. Lindsay was like, "Are you not going to go in? You never not go in." And I kind of turned around and said, "I have too many games at the moment to play. I have far too many. I've got far too many games coming up on Game Pass to play the games that I've already bought or the games that I'm going to buy soon. So no, I will walk past that and not spend any money because I could have quite easily gone in and bought something that I didn't need."
Sure.
Oh.
Yeah, I think it very much is disruptive. It hasn't taken away buying single games because you have some holdouts that, and by holdouts I don't mean gamers, I mean publishers. And I don't know, holdout's not the right word, but you have some publishers that are still sticking to that model that create AAA games. And they're really good, and I'm not gonna miss them. Not for the life of me. Like all of Nintendo's IP, they know they got me. Then they know they've got a lot of people, so there's no reason they'd ever do a subscription model, and that's fair and that's fine. That's great. That's part of that's part of business. Find a way that works for you. This is working for Xbox from how it sounds. And it is disruptive though, because it's pulled publishers in that way. Like I said, to if you want to play, they've had to up their subscription game. You can see that with Sony. I don't think Sony's subscription service would be near as good if it wasn't for Game Pass out there right now, having this stellar service. And so they were like, crap, if we're gonna have a subscription service, it's gotta be a really good one to play in this market. That said, also, there's a lot of games I don't buy now. For instance, I am interested in Diablo, but I ain't gonna buy that because I think that's coming to Game Pass whenever that acquisition goes through. So, am I interested in playing it? Sure. Would I possibly buy it to play with people on Discord if I thought it wasn't coming to Game Pass? Sure would, but I'm not gonna spend the money because I think it is coming when the acquisition goes through. So
yeah, and I mean, if you want to talk about like what Sony are doing in terms of like their streaming service, they've just announced that they're removing the PlayStation Plus collection, which is a collection of 19 classic PlayStation games, which is really weird. Those list is got some big games on it. The original Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy's there, Fallout 4, God of War, Mortal Kombat X, Ratchet and Clank, Resident Evil 7, The Last Guardian, The Last of Us Remastered.
Wow.
Yeah, those are really big games, and as of 9th of May, you will not be able to claim them. So they are gone, or they are shutting that service down. Where Xbox still has games with gold, it still has Game Pass as a subscription service. So yeah, I can't, other companies trying to do something to keep up with this, it shows that Sony have probably got different ideas. They're not going to go down this route.
Sure.
Because are as
Yeah.
heavy down this route as Xbox have done, because Xbox have made it work. It's been disruptive in the fact that yes, you're having to push developers in a direction. If you want to be on Game Pass, you've got to do some. We've got to strike a deal. We've got to do this, got to do that. There's a few more hoops to jump through, but it's a really good way of getting your game noticed. Like Tunic came to Game Pass before it went anywhere else and got a huge uplift in like interest. People were talking about the game. We spoke about it intensely. Spoke about it in my case. So like when it came to Switch, people were like, oh yeah, you guys have spoke about it. Oh, they've heard other people from different podcasts and different streaming sites talk about it. So it's disruptive in yes that you're probably taking away that Game Pass might get a game first for 8 to 12 months, but it just creates hype. So if you're gonna do it, you're gonna do it well. Make your game stick, make it good, land it on Game Pass, get people excited for playing it free, and then that hype where people are streaming to Twitch and streaming to YouTube or Facebook Live, and they're talking about it, and they're sharing, when this game comes out on the Switch, if I know you don't have an Xbox, but when it comes out on the Switch or it comes out on the PlayStation,
Right.
You've got to get this game. This game's great. So it's like a little bit of free advertising. Well, it's not free advertising, but you make money out of it as well as not having to worry about, I'm going to publish this game to the wider audience and it might not do great and just slowly trickle in where you can land a good chunk. Like I'm assuming most deals with Xbox and Game Pass come as you get a chunk of money for being on the service for a period of time. So you can, from a business sense, you can kind of say, well, we're going to make this much income from Game Pass. And like how well received it is on Game Pass, we can then project our next lot of income for our next game or for whatever they need to do if they need to pay people back, because small businesses do have to take loans to help do things like that. They can kind of go, okay, so we've made a big chunk of money, we've paid back all this kind of stuff, so when we do go on sale exclusively or globally around all the different consoles, whatever money we make off that is then ours. They can kind of factor in that as a business sense as well. So
yeah. Yep, I 100%. Yep, 100% agree. Anything else on is Game Pass disruptive?
Other than it's given me too many different games to play this year, which I wasn't complaining about last year, but I am now obliged to moan about because I have too many games to play. But no, other than that.
Yep, I feel you there. All right, on to news bulletins. Ghostwire Tokyo preload is available right now, and that's a game that is coming out April 12th. Yes, April 12th, so you can preload it onto your Xbox right now. PGA Tour free trial available now with Game Pass. It's 10 hours of gameplay. If you're interested in getting a feel for PGA Tour, you can do that. Vampire Survivor is a pretty big game in our community. People have been pretty excited about it. I've been playing it on and off. The second DLC arrives April 13th. That just came out as well. And I do not believe that's by the way, I do not believe that's a Game Pass. No, it's not. You're going to pay $1.99 for that. You get the game free, but you got to pay $1.99 for that DLC if you want it. And then the next one, Sean, I actually been out of the loop on this one. This is new to me. Have you read up on this gig?
No.
No.
1 second. I was just sorting the chat out on Twitch's end. Yeah, so if you want to expand the storage of your console, which I know the Series S and its little 500 gigabyte hard drive that's inside can sometimes be a bit of a struggle.
Maxed out.
Yeah, pretty much maxed out. I mean, I've just downloaded the 2 Doom games that took 180 gig. That's like, a third of the storage nearly for Series S. The 1 terabyte expansion that's there, I think at the moment is like $220, I think, originally. The Seagate ones that were really expensive. They are now coming in at $179.99. So, that's significantly less. I think it's like $40 less, something like that, than the original price, which means that trying to expand it by a terabyte, which is quite a lot if you want.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, so
Um,
it looks like Seagate. It looks like Xbox has allowed a competitor in Western Digital to come out, and they've dropped
yep.
theirs to 180, which, like you said, is $40 less. So maybe they'll get in a pissing match, and it'll even come down more. That would be great.
Yeah, be interesting to see. Just means the being able to expand, because I know sometimes I have to shuffle games around, especially um, you know, especially like when Redfall comes out and Forza Motorsport comes out.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be a case of like, I'm gonna have to sacrifice something.
Yeah, for sure. But it's also so hard. Now, 180 is a little bit easier to swallow, but at 220, it's freaking hard to swallow paying 220 for a terabyte when I can get a whole on a good deal. I can get a whole new system for like 260 or something like that, and I'll just have a whole nother system. Like, I don't know, man. It's yeah, that price sucks. There's no doubt about it. 180 is a little bit easier to swallow. You get it down to 120, and then I'll probably think about it. But even at 180, I'm like, I don't know. I'm not paying 180 for a terabyte of space. I bought a freaking mini SD the size of like my thumbnail, and it cost me for 1 terabyte, and it costs like $60 now. Like, I don't know. I'm done. I
Yeah,
promise.
that solid state stuff kind of still boggles my mind. Like, I don't understand how it works completely. When there used to be a little spinny disc inside, and it was a tiny little needle that moved everywhere, I could kind of understand that because it was, but it's kind of like, what? How does this work? It's like gray matter. I don't understand how you can hold memory in something like that. But yeah, it's really expensive. Storage is always a problem on consoles. Like, yeah, I've got the X. I have 1 terabyte, and like I said, I had to remove Forza Horizon 5 for a while because I wanted to download other games from Game Pass, and they were big and chunky and stuff like that. I've had to reinstall that to play the Rally and DLC, which I'll talk about later. But I know for a fact as soon as Redfall comes and said Forza Motorsport comes and stuff like that, the Horizon 5 will disappear again because it is a big chunk.
Yeah. You gotta do the old storage shuffle. That's the Xbox dance. So gotta love that. Those are our news bulletins. Acquisition Watch. Actually, we have a couple new ones too that just came out. And we didn't get them in here in time.
Hot off the press.
Hot off the presses. That's right. It's basically just Jim Ryan, complaining some more. But I mean, it's fun. We like
Captain
that.
Phallus.
Yeah. So Jim Ryan fears. Well, first off, the one we have in our doc, Activision says that it will work with Sony, even though they are bad boys with having not good behaviors. They will not send them to the corner, not put them in timeout. No. Activision will be the take the high road and still work with Sony for a deal if they want it. Of course they will. Why wouldn't they? It's money on the table. So if the acquisition doesn't go through, they're going to need Sony to even stay alive. If the acquisition does go through, doesn't matter what they want to do because they're not going to have any say in it anymore. So that's pretty much how that goes. And then so the hot off the presses one is Jim Ryan is still talking about how Xbox will degrade Call of Duty for PlayStation, and that will cause serious damage to him. And Sony blasts the CMA for Xbox verdict as surprising, unprecedented, and irrational. So those are the hot off the presses acquisitions.
I don't understand how Jim Ryan can say that if Xbox degrading Call of Duty is going to damage the PlayStation. It's not. It's the same. This is what's really annoying. He's like, is he worried that Activision is going to fall under the Microsoft umbrella? Then all of a sudden, like, all the people that worked for Activision no longer work for them that made the game in the first place.
He is really on this train of that. He thinks that Microsoft is going to take in Activision, ActiBliz, and then going to degrade their version, which makes absolute. I I don't know. I don't think that's what's going to happen. I will read the quote. Jim Ryan. Any degradation in price, performance, or quality of play on PlayStation, or any delays on release would quickly harm Sony's reputation and cause a loss of engagement and of players. Sony's CEO Jim Ryan explained to the CMA at the Remedies hearing, if PlayStation received a degraded version of Call of Duty, it would seriously damage our reputation. Our gamers would desert our platform in droves, Sean, and network effects would exasperate the problem. Our business would never recover. Wow, Jim Ryan really thinks his games suck. Like Jim Ryan thinks that Sony games are so awful that they have to have Call of Duty. Because if they don't have Call of Duty, Sony games aren't good enough to keep their players. That's how that reads. If we lose Call of Duty, we lose all of our players.
And it's ridiculous because it's like I literally just said like less than 2 minutes ago is Activision is still going to make the game. It's still the same people making this same game for the same consoles. It's not going to change. Microsoft aren't going to turn around and say, "Hey, look, Jim Ryan's over there. Let's make his game shit, but we'll keep ours okay. We'll make his really bad. Make it so like they're firing bananas at each other, not bullets, and they can't do this and they can't do that.
Awesome.
Just for the Sony, do it just for Sony. But make Xboxes look really cool, where you can fly through the air, a jetpack, and jump off the wall and do this. But they literally can just hit each other with sticks. That's it. They're not going to do that.
Sean, I'm not going to lie. I want to buy Sony's version in this reality where I can shoot bananas and hit people with sticks. I'm totally in on this Call of Duty. It'd be funny. It totally backfires too. Like that becomes the best version of Call of Duty. Everybody wants to play the sticks and banana version. I could see that totally happening.
But it just, I don't know. He's a fool, and it's really the stuff he comes out with just is ridiculous. He's looking at this at the worst possible outcome in it, and it's just never going to happen. Microsoft will not allow a developer to release a game that's different on different consoles. It's just not what they're going to do, especially something as big as Call of Duty. They are not going to want to damage the brand. And the other thing he also forgets is that Activision are only a small part of making Call of Duty. You've got Treyarch as well, who is nothing to do with Activision, which also have a big dealing with making Call of Duty games. And they're not going to allow Activision to make a substandard game and stick their name with it as well. So, he's got an outside adjudicator looking at this. It's just a fucking moron. Sorry. This is why we're getting. This is why we keep getting the explicit content awarded. So Jim Ryan, stop making stupid things up so I can stop swearing.
It's kind of fun. Sometimes I was like, oh, look at this. This will make Sean happy. I want to talk about this.
The man is honestly, he's one of those people that I would quite happily punch in the face and not stop. Just because I wouldn't mind him having this argument if it made sense. If it made rational sense for a company to do what he thinks they're going to do. It's just stupid. It's just irrational, stupid, scaremongering. I want to make people... He literally wants people on PlayStation who have a PlayStation console go, oh, we don't like Xbox because they're going to make our Call of Duty really bad.
He's Sony's... You just made him Sony's version of Cranky Kong. I like it. I'm really...
Fucking yes. But yeah, Phil Spencer's over his dancing pecs.
It's so good.
But yeah, it's just all he's trying to do is rally the troops with that. And it's also the same with the backlash from the CMA saying that you can't believe that they suddenly reversed the role. The reason why they've done a complete U-turn on it is because they've actually sat down and gone, his argument's stupid. Why have we looked at this and wasted our time? We could be drinking tea and eating biscuits. Let's just get this out. Let's get it going. But yeah.
Yeah. Also, I'd like to call it Horror Accolade says it was announced a little while back, but apparently Atari is buying Night Dive Studio, which I'm not really thrilled about. So Night Dive Studio is best known for a System Shock remake. Used redoes vintage games to run on today's PCs, basically like Quake and Blade Runner and stuff like that. Atari has bought them. It said this is part of a broader bid to refocus on gaming. The company has tried and struggled with multiple unusual ventures in recent years, including all kinds of stuff from crypto to online casinos to themed hotels. It sounds like they're in their stage where kind of like Nintendo was when they were doing love hotels and all kinds of fun stuff. Like they're just trying to find something that works. But if they want to refocus on gaming, and this will do it, and these studios have and Night Dive has the ability to take old games and make them work on newer things. That might be exactly what Atari needs, but I'm not really well versed in it. I've just read a article, so I will be glad to point that out.
I think if anybody might be able to give or shed some light, that could be Jesse, because I think he's quite a big Atari fan, isn't he? Using that. So
sure, Jesse would definitely know way more about this than I will ever know, for sure. You didn't have to agree, Sean.
I only agree because I know I'm in exactly the same boat.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
All right. I think that is the end of our acquisition watch stage. We'll gotta let Sean cool down. We can't talk about acquisition stuff anymore. So why don't we jump into our Game Pass headlines? Out since the last episode, Loop Hero, which I will talk about in what I've been playing because I've been playing it. And spoiler alert, I kind of like it. That's what I'd give it. I kind of like it. Iron Brigade out as of today, which remember is Thursday, April 6th. Because I might have forgotten that at the beginning of the episode. So I have not played this. Game. This is an Xbox 360 game. It seems like it should be a Games with Gold game. That's what I thought when I looked at it.
Yeah.
So I was a little disappointed about that, but whatever. Next week's the big week. Next week we get Ghostwire Tokyo April 12th and NHL 23 April 13th. So that's got a couple of big hitters for sports fans and just gamers all around. So that'll be cool.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to look more into Ghostwire Tokyo because the game art looks pretty weird and creepy. But then I don't know what the gameplay is like.
Mm-hmm. I would agree with weird and creepy. That's all I know about it. Is a ghost looking guy with horns. That's pretty much what I see every time I look at it. But I do believe it's coming to cloud, which makes me very happy. So I can easily just Horror Accolade says weird and creepy is my wheelhouse. That's good because your name would really suck if you were like, ooh, I hate weird and creepy things.
Yeah. Oh, actually, an adventure game, Tango Gameworks. So Tango Gameworks did. What's their recent one they did that I played? Come on. It's
Hi-Fi Rush. See, that's why horror's here for us.
Cool. Thank you, man. Thank you very much. So,
just always
and Bethesda's been behind it as well. So,
horror's here for us. Yeah, I believe this. So, anyways, I believe this is coming to the cloud, which always makes me happy. Which means I don't have to worry about my storage, and I can just play it and see if I like it, and then maybe download it if I do. So. But I don't have time to do that because I'm still playing Hogwarts. I'm gotta get that finished. Get that damn game finished sometime before Redfall, hopefully.
And ACTK, it literally is saying exactly the same thing as I was thinking. This is an Xbox 360 title that has missed the Games with Gold, so it's nice that they still have them in their back catalogue to throw out us. And I'm excited to see some more titles coming soon.
Yeah, but I feel like 360 games should be Games with Gold. Like, this should just be, tucked in the lineup for Games with Gold, not thrown on Game Pass. I don't know. That's my personal opinion. I think it, cheapens Game Pass. I don't know that I believe that now that I said it, but I kind of do. I'm not sure. Anyways. So that's where we're at, and NHL 23 coming out real soon. Leaving. Have we talked about these? No, these are new, I think. Leaving
Yeah,
on
these are new.
April 15th. The Rift Breaker, Moonglow Bay, Rainbow Six Extraction. That's a bummer. The Dungeon of Nilbeck. Life is Strange: True Colors. That's an important one. That's a big one right there. Panzer Corps 2, The Long Dark, which was made known to us thanks to the publisher, and Quantum Break is out, but will be coming back. There's a licensing issue. Somebody from
Oh
Xbox
no.
said so. Yeah, they had to pull it, but they have full plans on it coming back. So that's what we know. So you got till April 15th, basically 9 days from now. 7 days from when you hear this to if you're listening to the podcast on day one, I should say, to beat these games or to buy them with a 20% discount. Remember. So, what's up with games with gold, Shawnio? Oh, well, no, go ahead, sir.
Just very, very quickly. Game that we missed on the ones that have seemed to have come out since the last episode is Goat Simulator has made a reappearance.
Oh, really?
Yep.
You told me that. I didn't see it. Did it just like pop up?
It's just in there. It's in. If I go to my browse by recently added, I've got Iron Brigade, Loop Hero, Goat Simulator, Infinite Guitars.
Huh.
Absolutely no reason or explanation as to why Goat Simulator has just magically appeared again.
I don't believe they've put anything. I don't believe they said anything about it, unless I missed it, which is possible. That's strange.
Yep. So just totally bizarre. Games with gold. Just looking at what I've got here in front of me, Tube Rock has disappeared, and so has Sudden Strike 4. They both finished 31st of March. And Out of Space Couch Edition is the newest one that you can claim. And this is a local co-op multiplayer game about living together in a house or space.
Out of Space.
Yep.
Okay.
It looks like it could be something that you'd probably enjoy playing with Noah.
What
You and your friends are about to move into a house in space where you will have to deal with a deadly alien infestation and face challenges of building a sustainable spaceship, all to make your new place feel like
this looks fun.
Like cozy home.
I'm in.
Buy, build, and place your new technology while keeping your systems efficient and sustainable. Power up your spaceship by recycling alien goo. Harvest and take care of your fruitful gardens. Clean rooms with mops and water. So yeah, it's pretty much like a sandbox fun co-op game that you would usually play with.
Yeah, I'm in.
With Noah.
I'm in on that. That's cool. He always loves it when I get down the second Xbox controller for him. He's always like, ooh, he doesn't play the Xbox very much, so that'll make him pretty excited. All right, and what's the other one?
That is Lamentum, which is still there. But we haven't had a second new one yet.
Okay, cool. All right. Well, that is all of our news and top stories and bulletins and acquisition and blah 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 blah. So let's move into Xbox Spotlight. Holy crap, Sean! I just looked at your list. My
it
Lord,
kept growing. So.
Wow. Yeah. So I was gonna be like, hey, I had a lot of fun bouncing back and forth. We should do that again. But why don't you just go first? Or yeah.
All right. I will start with. I'll start near the bottom and work my way up.
Podcasters, right now he's unswirling like a gigantic scroll. He's like, which one should I start with? Let me see. No, I'm sorry.
So,
Go ahead.
Where I said I haven't had much time to play games, that looks like is a little bit of a lie when it comes to the list. But these games have kind of like been a hop in, hop out when the opportune has kind of come in. So, between kids going to bed, wifey like been in the bath or the shower, the fire stuff. So these are all very quick games that I've kind of popped at. Forza Horizon 5, I downloaded the Rally DLC, reinstalled the game. I'm not happy with it.
Ooh.
And I'm going to give it the same kind of description that a lot of people in the like the racing game world have been given it is the tracks are too wide, which makes the gameplay feel very slow. Like
Okay.
rallying is all about like precision driving through, courses, this, that, and the other, while taking the information of like hard right, easy left, crests, all that kind of stuff. And it's usually at a high speed, but because they've made the tracks really, really wide and given you the ability to, really just drive around the corner without slowing down much, it's taken away the effort and the fun that comes with rally. So it just felt like I was playing Forza Horizon 5 with somebody talking over the top of the car noises, which
Okay.
was really irritating. And I was
Gotcha.
like, no. So like if you go and play WRC Rally or Dirt 5, they're games that are on Game Pass that you can pick up and play, which are rally games, and then come back to the Forza Horizon 5 Rally DLC. You'll see what I mean. Like
Okay.
the tracks are now on WRC Rally, the tracks are narrower on Dirt 5, the tracks are narrower, which gives you the feeling of the car is going faster than it actually is and makes the gameplay feel a little bit more erratic, which is what rallying is about, coming from somebody that has actually driven rally cars. You get that erratic feeling with it. I'm not getting that with the Horizon 5 DLC at all. I lasted all of about an hour and a half of playing doing different races, and I kind of just bailed out. I was like, nope, I might go back to it just to finish it off, but this doesn't feel like it's as well done as the Hot Wheels DLC. So.
Gotcha. Yeah, rare miss for Forza apparently. That's like one of the few that hasn't clicked.
Yep. The next game on there is Among Us. I kind of Logan's been asking to play it for ages. He's wanted to play it on his iPad for a very long time, but I'm not very happy with the chat availability on the iPad being just a click of a button, click of the screen, which sounds really daft because it is just a click of the button on the controller. But he has to kind of figure out what that button is and why he has to press it, which means he's less likely to get it. So when people call emergency meetings, he's kind of just, he doesn't automatically go to reading everything. He just waits for the timer to count down and chooses who he thinks looks more suspicious based on what their character looks like.
Poor bastards.
Or if he's seen them doing something. So like if he's seen somebody come in and out of an event, he kind of automatically thinks, they're an imposter. So he does that. So he's been playing it. He's been playing it with his sister. You asked the question in Discord, like, what's with all the Among Us play?
Yeah, man. I kept looking at your tag. You were playing all the time.
When the kids it's been raining outside because it's still freezing cold and raining in April in England. So in between stuff, like, it's doing all this fun stuff and me trying to get housework done and things like that. I've kind of allowed them to sit and play this on the Xbox. Again, I can see what, like, if I'm doing some housework, I can kind of see what they're doing. I can see them not being in the chat because it is really toxic sometimes. I mean, I popped it up once and this guy was like, oh, F you, F this, you're all effing retards. And I'm like, there's no need for that.
Sounds about right.
Just stop. So they didn't do that. I've been playing a shit ton of Mighty Doom again. I finally got rid of through the fourth world. The fifth world is just something completely different. So
yeah, that's the roguelike, or not. Well, that's the one where like you have to get through 5 stages in each room, right?
Yeah, before you can pick up a power up, which makes it really difficult.
Yes.
So I'm going through and I'm doing like 1, 2, 3, and going through 4 again, as well as doing all the seasonal stuff.
Okay.
To that, but playing that game has reignited my interest in playing Doom. So I downloaded Doom and Doom Eternal. And played like an hour of Doom and then an hour of Doom Eternal, and then realized I didn't finish the Doom Eternal DLC, which I actually paid for. So I'm going to slowly chip my way through those. Those are games that I know I've played before, so I can just dip in and out of whenever I want. Playing a bit of sessions. I think I've shared a picture into the Discord in the party chat I forgot how pretty this game is and how much fun it is to do the photo editing side of things. So I've been doing the story mode on it quite a bit. And then that's kind of introducing me to new spots, which I didn't realize they'd added to the game. Like they've got the whole of Love Park in there from Philadelphia, which is nice because that's like all been demolished now. So they've got all like the cool historic spots from like as a kid growing up watching like professional skate videos and stuff on VHS. Like a lot of people used to hit Love Park quite iconically, so it was quite cool to be able to play around that again. So yeah, I've been doing a lot of that. And then Resident Evil 4, Acid TKO3 mentioned this gem. This has actually become a gem, and it's fantastic. I keep thinking like my remembrance of the original game is that by now I'd usually have finished it at this point. But I'm sure they've added extra bits and more story and stuff like that to it that I have completely forgotten about. But I love it. I'm having a lot of fun playing the game. It's getting like, I'm enjoying it so much. It's fantastic remastered. It's got all the graphical greatness of Village from Resident Evil 8. With a little bit of added creepiness that they kind of dragged in from 7, which is always nice. With all the customizable options and the vendor and stuff that you can like trade and sell things and stuff like that. Plus the shooting range mini games in it are great that you can do every now and then to kind of earn little coins. And with these coins, you trade them in for little figures that you can hang off your inventory case, which helps like drop rate for handgun bullets and different stuff like that. So.
Antonio has joined the chat. Thanks for joining the chat, man. He says he wants to start it, and he says he remembers that the OG version went on for quite a while too. So,
yeah, it must I don't know, must have been a while since I played it. I'm definitely played the living daylights out of it on the 360. I remember that much. It could just be that it was Resident Evil 6 that I probably remember that was quite quick as well. Because I didn't see just seems really long. But then I'm also really enjoying it and I'm doing a lot more wandering around. And then they've got like these little quests that you can pick up for like trading for extra bits and pieces and stuff like that, which I'll find one of them, so I'll trail back and get it, and I might like trade it in for a treasure map, and then I'll notice that I've missed treasures, so go back for a bit. And so there's a lot of back and forth. So that's probably making it feel a lot longer as well.
Yeah, and it's getting great. Well, I mean, say reviews, but accolades would be the better word at this point. From everybody. I mean, it seems to have really hit the remake button on the head. So everybody seems to be loving it.
My friend who does the speedrunning, Andy Warren, Super King Andy, he's been playing a lot of it. I think he's trying to now go for S Plus Pro, which is like a ridiculous speed to get through it in certain circumstances as well that you've got to complete it as well. But it's ace.
Nice.
And then a game that I want to play, but I don't know how I can play it. I'm a big fan of Jet Set Radio. I love that game on the Sega Dreamcast, and played it when it was definitely on Game Pass for a little bit originally. Fun game to play. I found something that's just like it with newer graphics and a skateboarding aspect of it called Bomb Rush Cyberpunk. I'm kind of hoping it comes to console at some point. I think it's currently on PC only.
No, apparently it's on the Switch.
Oh.
Let me look it up. Make sure I'm right.
But yeah, it's got all the...
Yeah, it's on the graphical... Switch, man.
Yeah. Ooh.
Well, I'm sorry. It's not. It's TBD. Sorry, releasing TBD. So that was wrong.
Okay. So
sorry, my bad.
When that comes out on the Switch, I will be getting it because it's got the music aspect of Jet Set Radio. It's got the like quirky, like graffiti side of things, and the cool way you've got to get around and grind around places and stuff like that. So it's got everything that Jet Set Radio was, all kind of squished into there with newer graphics. So
nice. That would be that looks cool. Well, that's a lot of stuff, man. You've been playing a lot of stuff, so that's pretty awesome. Anything else on these?
Nope. Apart from I'm itching to get back to Resident Evil 4.
I'm sure. Yeah, well, you were playing
I
it
want,
when we hopped on, so that's awesome.
yeah, I want to get it finished because I want to get that done before Redfall. I want to get
Sure.
quite a few things done before Redfall comes out, and I know
Mm-hmm.
I'm running out of time.
Mm-hmm. That's true. Yeah. Yeah. So for me, more Hogwarts. Still playing that game. I'm chipping away, slow but sure. If I stopped doing Merlin trials and stopping every time there was something on the map, I would be much further along. But I just don't have the willpower to do that. Mighty Doom, man, I was playing that game like super hardcore. I beat level 5, got to the next level. That one seemed like I was ages away from finishing that one. I've now got to like level 35. I do the daily challenges, but I will say this is the first time I have not done the daily challenge. First day I've not done the daily challenge since that game came out because Loop Hero came out and I found out that it was on cloud, even though Xbox said it wasn't on cloud. They lied to me on their Twitter thing. They said it was only on console and PC. Not true, Xbox. You also put it on cloud. So found it on cloud, went out, downloaded it. I'm not gonna say like I've fallen in love with it, but if I have to choose a game between Loop Hero and Mighty Doom to play on my phone, I'll play Loop Hero. It's just a little bit more fun. It's got more of like a town building aspect when you're done. So if you've never played it, you're this little, and it's very pixelated. You're this little pixel guy that walks around and fights guys in a loop, literally in a loop. And every time you fight a guy, you get more like things you can add to the environment, which might add more baddies, which, that's a bummer, but it also lets you get more resources, or it might be like mountains or rocks or meadows, which give you health points, okay? And you can go around once, you can choose to be done, go back to your camp, and take your loot, or you can choose to go around multiple times. The more you choose to go around, the more the map gets filled, the better resources you'll get, the better weapons you get, but also the harder the baddies get. So there you go. When you go back to the camp, you can build stuff to help you, like kitchens or potion stations and all that fun stuff. I am loving it. I'm having a lot of fun with it. The story, is a little like wonky. Like, hey, we all forgot everything, and so now you go out there, and if you come back, maybe you won't forget stuff. Hopefully you don't forget stuff, but I don't know. I'm still confused, to be honest. There's a big forgetting thing. Everybody's forgotten stuff, and I'm a little confused on that part. But the game loop is fun. That wasn't a pun that was intended, but sure, whatever. The game loop is fun. The game loop of looping is really fun. And so, yeah, that's kind of what I've been playing. Ironically, I'm not a big roguelike fan. And so my secondary game, I have gone from one roguelike in Mighty Doom to another roguelike in Loop Hero. So, whatever. Be playing some Ghostwire Tokyo. I will start that game for sure. I don't know. I might hate it and be done with it, but I will at least try it so that I can have a chat with you about it. And Bruce, chat with you and Bruce about it next week. Beyond that, you will not see my normal Kirby or Flat Heroes on here because newsflash, last week my kids, when I was down here podcasting, decided to go outside without telling me. And so the wifey came home and they were playing out in the yard. And so they have been banned from video games and screen time for the entire spring break. So that's what they get. But I don't really want to play Kirby without them. They're kind of my Kirby crew. So I've kind of put Kirby down at the moment until they're not banned from video games. Stupid kids.
Did the Monthly Mayhem finish yet?
No, it hasn't. But I believe I haven't been around for a while. I haven't checked in a while. I believe unless somebody did something. Let's see. So I still have the bomb challenge. Still have the sword challenge. Yeah, and a bunch of people have done the missions. Oh, do I have the Ninja Dojo? I don't know. Yes, I still have the Ninja Dojo at the moment. So Darth Platypus and Bob Cousy and all you others playing this thing and Max Power, don't you freaking sandbag scores until the 9th. I don't want to see it. I don't want it. No. When is the 9th? Oh, frick, it's Easter. Yeah, so if they sandbag scores until Sunday, I'm screwed because I'll be with family all day. There's nothing I can do about that. So don't be sandbaggers, you freaking sandbaggers. So that's all I got to say about that.
Awesome. I hope you win it because I know you guys have played a lot of it.
It's
And I know
true.
that you're super excited and it's always nice to share with the kiddos. Hey, look, that game that we were playing before I took it off you because you were
Stupid idiots.
naughty.
Sure.
Yeah, I was trying to be polite, but
You
yeah.
were. No,
And
they were
when
stupid idiots.
so
Yeah. It's been rainy all this like the back half of spring break. So they could have been playing fun games with Dad, but instead they're screwed and they had to go. Sean, I will say, I know this is not Dad Crossing, but I will say we are in a bit of a pickle because they are nicer not playing video games. So we're gonna have to really figure out what we got to do on that end. So, but that's
yep.
we're not. I
We
know we're not an Xbox spotlight here, but territory anymore. But that's a real problem that Becca and I have now realized. The kids are nicer when they're not playing, so we're not sure what it's going to look like when they go back to playing video games. They're probably not going to be able to play as much as they were playing.
Yeah, we midweek we try and reduce the amount of screen time they have. Like we'll let Logan have like an hour on his Switch, if that a day. Um, just because it's something it's something for him to be doing where he doesn't have to be supervised while we're like cooking dinner or
Mm-hmm.
like I'm trying to get a few chores and stuff done. So it's kind of like selfishly it's an easy thing, an easy out
Right. Yeah. No, I get that.
because yeah. Um but yeah, the kid he is generally like we took YouTube off him ages ago and we noticed a massive improvement in his like in his behavior and stuff like he's recently got it back and he is becoming more back chatty. So it's slowly on its way out again. So
Yeah. It's crazy. See, I need to put a timer on the family switch. So I need to start using the OLED. So we have an OLED, we have the Animal Crossing switch that I had, and then Noah has a Switch Lite. So Noah Switch Lite has an hour timer on it, and that's all he's allowed to have. The thing is, now that Ariel's getting older, a lot of times she's like, "Can I play?" And so then they're like, "Dad, can we play on the family Switch?" And I'm like, "Well, sure." So, but that one doesn't have a timer on it, right? So yeah, I need to put a timer on that one and start using the OLED for me personally more, so that we can start really figuring out how much time they're on the Switch altogether, especially Noah. How much time Noah's on the Switch altogether? It'd be great if like I could somehow like use his account to loop in all the times that he logs in. You know, that would be fantastic. Like on his Switch Lite and on the family Switch and all that. That would be great. But it's per Switch, and I can do it. It just takes me adding two numbers together. So I get that, but I'm lazy and I just need to spend more
I
time
thought it was
actually
done by
doing that.
I thought it was done by accounts.
No, I'm pretty sure it's done by Switch. Your Switch locks it down. Man, we are way off the beaten path here, but that's okay.
It is because I can. Let me see. I can look at Logan. Yeah. Okay. I don't know. Because like when I'm looking at the parental thing, all I can do is look at his like his account. But yeah. Okay. Yeah. Because that's fair enough.
Yeah. So, but yeah, So I'm gonna lock that one down for an hour or two, and start that. That'll be step one, and then we'll go from there. See if they get any better. So anyway, so that's why there's no Nintendo games, no Flat Heroes, no Kirby's. I had plans to beat both of those games this week. Blame it on my children that I didn't do it. So whatever. That's my plan, at least.
Oh, at least you had Loop Hero to play.
That's true. I appreciate that. So yeah, that's all I've been playing.
Excellent. And I think that's the show. I think there's nothing else in the chat. We've got Bruce dropping the emotes of us guys. So she'll roll us out if you're ready.
Do it.
So, as most of you already know by now, if you listen regular enough, all our socials are at Game Pass News. That's Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube. If you want to send us anything via email, you can do so by heading over to GamePassNewscast@gmail.com and drop one there. If you're listening to this through your podcasting app, if you've got the ability to please leave us a review, that really does help us get noticed out there, and we will respond back to them. If you want to get in on the Discord, subscribe to our Twitch channel, like our 2 newest subscribers, Mr. Bruce and Mrs. Bruce, and you could be done. Nick's dancing with his cup. If you want any cool merchandise, head over to redbubble.com. You can get pretty much anything you want there with our faces on. Thanks very much to Bruce for being in the live chat, Acid TKO3, Horror Accolade, and Antonio from YouTube. Thank you very much, guys, for joining. And until next time, we shall see you later.
See you later, guys.